All right, guys, so in this video, I'm going to pick apart a roofing campaign on Facebook that one of my subscribers created. He needs some help making it better for his clients. So I'm going to just pick it apart live. We go into a lot of really cool stuff on this video, including, but not limited to, the perfect offer to make to a homeowner to get tons of high quality roofing leads. So watch the whole video so that you understand exactly how to do that. But you also see me pick apart some things regarding the campaign that are really, really important to get right. So I hope you love it. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. If you want to watch other videos of me picking apart campaigns, I'll link to another one below in the description. And I hope you love this content. Comment below if you do love it. Give it a like, subscribe to my channel, do all the things that will help my channel, and I'll keep doing all the things that'll help you. All right, guys. What's going on? Tell me what we're going to accomplish today, what you'd like my help with.
Yeah, so we recently got a new client on board, and we're still like pretty new to ads. We're still trying to get experience around it, so we're learning as we go. But we have this one campaign that we put up. It's in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I kind of just wanted you to take a look and just, let me know if there's anything we could improve, or maybe there's some stuff I'm sure that we probably set up wrong.
Sure. Yeah. You want to share your screen with me?
Yeah, no problem.
Great.
Okay. Are you able to see?
I am. I'm going to request control of your mouse. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. So which campaign did you build?
It's the one on top, V2 SLC campaign.
Okay. What does V2 SLC campaign stand for?
Version 2. So we had one that we launched previously, and that one wasn't really, we felt like we could probably change some things around and launch a new one. And then also we asked someone else, and he said there were some settings that we set up wrong. And apparently, once you launch a campaign, you just can't change certain things. So we kind of took that one down and launched V2 right
now. Okay. All right, let's check it out. So you've got one ad set. Let's see how it's configured. Actually, let's start with the campaign, see how the campaign's configured. So we'll click edit here. And I can see that you have, so the first thing that's wrong is it's not a housing. This is not a housing thing if it's for roofing.
Really?
Yeah, this is not a special ad category. Okay. So this is going to limit you a lot. I mean, the thing about roofing ads is that you don't want to over configure the targeting anyway. You don't want to choose a bunch of interests and things like that. And all you want to really do is choose the age, and that's kind of it. And then the location. But with housing, you have, you're restricted with some of the things like that you can do. So if we jump into the ad set level, you have it set up as a housing campaign. So are you even able to change this? Yeah. So you can't even change this because it's housing, and for, like, the fair housing laws and all the regulations mean you can't even choose the age of the people that you want to choose. So, and then the manual placements, it looks like maybe you saw one of my videos that told you about, the picking and choosing your placements. That's good. But to begin with, the campaign is configured wrong from the start, because it's not a house. This is not an ad for a house. This is an ad for a roof. So that's a huge thing. So if you were to edit this, I wonder if duplicating it will automatically choose it as a housing campaign or not. Let's see. So if you duplicate it, employment, social issues, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, so it's not a special category. Okay, so we need to, let's close that. Let's delete this duplicate that I did. What you'll want to do is, I haven't even looked at the ads yet, but just so we're clear, what you'll want to do is create a campaign, a lead campaign. I usually click this little down thing and give it a name. I call it like conversions because that's the goal here, or leads or whatever. Roofing leads. And then I usually put the date in that I'm building it. Just, so I know when I was working on it last. And then I give the ad set like a name that lets me know like what the point of the ad set is. It's really just the service area. And then I just put a number 1 in there for the first ad. And then I click continue. And then I choose manual leads campaign and click continue. And now, so this is what you want it to say. You want it to be no categories declared. This is not a special ad category. This is not politics. This is not housing. This is not a social issue or a credit opportunity. This is for a roof. It's like for a deck or for a fence. Like it's not a special category for any of that. It is related to the person's house, but it's not a housing opportunity. And then, I turn this on and put in the budget. Let's, we'll just, for argument's sake, keep it at $20. So that's the campaign level. That's how you would set that up. What
would you recommend for daily budget?
I would say at least $50 a day. So let's jump back in here and see what's going on here. So this is the ad set. See, this is a little glitch in Facebook. Like I don't have this selected, but when I go to the ad set level, it still shows me the ad set from the draft item that I was creating. So I only want to see the ads in this campaign. And I see so it's showing me that draft again. I can't believe this has been like this for years. So Facebook isn't even aware of it probably. So this is what your ad looks like. All right. So you've got a picture of real people. That's, that can be a good thing. You've got the Facebook pages chosen. It's a single image. And I see you wrote Salt Lake City homeowners. We're looking for 42 homeowners in the Salt Lake City area to install our new roofing system through our showcase 2023. Yeah. Okay. And then the headline is need a new roof. Limited deal save. Is that a period?
Yeah, that might be nice.
Yeah, that's a typo. I mean, that doesn't make any sense grammatically. Limited deal save, and then period, and then thousands. That's not. So that should be adjusted. If that's going to be your headline, I wouldn't make it your headline, but little grammar mistakes like that, while they're not that big of a huge deal in the long text here on the primary text, although I would try to proofread it in the headline. You should at least get the headline looking really good. And then all roofs offer a warranty and 100% financing for those who apply. So that's for those who qualify. It's definitely not for all who apply, because not everyone's going to get approved for financing. So, and then the call to action is get a quote. And it looks like you're sending them to a landing page. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So you're using high level. Oh, I'm excited to see what your landing page looks like. See if it's one that I created. All right. Looks like you got this from, what's his name? He's a guy from like Sweden or something.
Yeah, Max Perzon.
Yeah. Want a new roof and up to $1,500 cash? Your home may qualify for our showcase program. Take this free 30-second quiz. Does this really work? I don't know. I mean, this is so, like, let me ask you this. Is your client actually giving up to $1,500 cash and choosing someone, like truly choosing someone for their for a showcase program? And what is a showcase program?
I don't know, it's just a fancy name. Like, there's no real showcase program. It's just they'll do the same system that they've always been doing. But the $1,500 cash, it's not literally that they'll put like $1,500 in their hand. It's just they'll take up to $1,500 off. Um,
Yeah.
and they have like pricing models where they do like $500 off if they spend this much, 1,000 off if they spend this much, and then 1,500.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've personally never tested this kind of offer because I find it so cringe that I just refuse to do it. Um, so and I also think that if you're looking to attract homeowners who aren't the poorest of the poor and have, two nickels to rub together so they can actually afford a roof, you're unlikely to attract the homeowners that have money if you're appealing to the homeowners who have like half a brain cell and would fall for something like this. And that, I know that sounds harsh, but that's just my opinion. I think that if the goal is to get high quality leads for the client, you should be really honest and not use ridiculous gimmicks. Now, there is a fine line, though, between like ridiculous gimmicks like this, which I personally wouldn't feel comfortable doing. I just think it's way too silly. And, communicating an offer in such a way that makes the perceived value for the homeowner super high, even though it may not be as high as they're perceiving it to be. But there's nothing dishonest about it. It's just the way it's worded in a very powerful way that makes a homeowner feel really compelled to take the next step and send their information in. And that's a really pop. And so the kind of stores that made those types of perceived offers popular are like big box stores or like retail electronic stores and things like that. Study those. Those are really good at creating what are called doorbuster sales. So what I would encourage you to do is look up doorbuster sales and see if you can come up with unique ways to create roofing offers that are perceived as a ridiculously amazing value for the homeowner while not requiring the roofer to actually discount his services at all. So that's what I've studied that extensively, and that's how I come up with the verbiage that I use in my advertising. So I would encourage you to do that, but it's completely up to you. I mean, obviously, if you want to test this offer, at the very least, the Facebook ad should be set up properly. So you would want to not have it as a special category housing ad. And then because you don't have it as a special category housing ad, you'll be able to make a couple of changes at the ad set level, which I'll show you right now, that will allow you to get, increase the likelihood that you get in front of the right people. So like, let's say you put this at $50 because that's going to be your minimum daily budget to get, enough distribution to actually start getting leads. And then the performance goal is maximize number of conversions. The pixel you'll choose, is this the pixel?
Yeah.
Choose the right pixel. You'll choose your conversion event. So did you create a custom conversion?
No, I think on the first one we were just doing there was one that said lead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so this might work, but you might need to create a custom conversion that is triggered when they land on a particular page after submitting the survey.
Yeah, I saw that. I was looking into that the other day. I'm still kind of confused on how that works, but it's like a code that you put into the pixel, right? That tracks certain conversion events.
Yeah, you don't even really need to put any code in. It's not code related. It's really just make sure the pixel is on all of the pages of the website, and you create a custom conversion that says anytime a person on the website lands on a page where the URL has in it a particular word or cluster of words, that counts as a conversion. So you'd make your thank you page like, say thank you 1876. So if like the only way they would ever land on a page that says thank you 1876 in the URL is if they landed on that thank you page, unless for some reason you have thank you 1876 in some, on the services page of their website, which would be ridiculous. And then obviously, you know, using the conversions API in order to actually attribute all of the leads to the campaign is an important thing to do, but that's like way too much for this particular video. But here's the thing, at the very least, and you can get results without doing all of that craziness, although that does help hugely because, frankly, if Facebook can't attribute enough leads to your campaign, you're going to get stuck in learning limited, and you're not going to have your ads distributed well and efficiently to your audience. But, so you'll choose your service area. Did you save your service area, or is it manually done?
Manually. I would just search up Salt Lake City.
Okay. So Salt Lake City, Utah, what's the radius? Like 20 miles or something?
I would have it like I was looking at the estimated audience size, so I was trying to get it like 750 to a million.
Okay.
And then I would change it based off of that. But it didn't
Did
really
you
do
ask the client how far out they want to go?
Yeah, they wanted to do anywhere that was like close to Salt Lake City area, and then we asked them like, was 20 miles good range for you? And they're like, we usually look around 20 miles anyway, so they said that would be fun.
Okay. So then there's your service area. And, now it's only people living in or recently in this location. So you're going to have to explain to them that they very well could get leads that live in California. But that'll only happen on occasion. And then I usually change the age to a minimum of 30 years old. I mean, I'm sure there are people who are under 30 who bought their first home and actually own a home. But I know that before I turned 30, I'm 40 now. Before I turned 30, I was an absolute disaster. And I was living in an apartment in New York and acting like an idiot all the time. Didn't own anything. So 30 and up, that's what I would do there. And then manual placements. And then I would choose, I usually just uncheck all of these to start. And then I do Facebook, Instagram. I do stories. And then I've been, kind of sometimes I choose these, sometimes I don't for the reels. But I really only choose them if I have a video that I am going to be running as one of the ads. Right. And then I just make sure everything else is on. So it looks like it says 8. So there must be 2 other ones that are clicked on that shouldn't be. Yeah. So even though you unclick them, they still click these on. And then for the ad, like I said, so you're going to pick your Instagram account. You're going to upload your image, write your primary text, create a headline. You can keep the headline and text and keep trying that if you want, and actually try the offer with at least the right setup on the campaign. Just looking at this landing page, like, it's, I like how clean and simple it is. This is very much how I build a lot of my landing pages, but like, this can be centered at the least. It's like, I don't know, like, why is it off to the side there? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. That's interesting. Oh, wow. Can I like draw on your screen here?
I
Oh,
don't
look at
see what
that.
you're.
Hey,
Oh,
that's pretty cool. I didn't know I could do that. That must be a new Zoom thing, or maybe I just have never realized that before. And how do I get rid of that? I don't know. Uh, undo. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So yeah, like this is, it's like it's off center. Like, what? Why is it off center? Like, who? Why can't it just be designed to be not off center? I mean, 99 times out of 100, it's going to be you're going to get leads from people that are using mobile devices. Um, so I don't know what this looks like on a mobile device, but you would want it to look good. Also, you're not going to want to send them. You're not going to want to send them to the in a URL that looks like this. Is that where what the URL is for the landing page? It goes to high level.
yeah, it goes to high level. We had issues with setting up a subdomain with their account. Um, I
Yeah.
think it's because they set up their domain on I don't know, like one of their main accounts that they use.
Uh-huh.
They haven't given us access to that one yet. They just give us access to Squarespace, which
Yeah, the easiest solution to that, and this is something I dealt with, when I was starting out. Also, is like trying to get access to setting up a subdomain and logging into their DNS, and changing their DNS records, and then maybe they have their name servers pointed at a different host, and they don't even have the phone number of the webmaster anymore. Like, I just purchase a domain. I get a new client. I spend, sometimes it's $10 if I do a .com, or sometimes I'll buy, a dot something funny, and not funny, but something that's like $3, and I'll make the domain like the same as what their .com is, but with a .co or a .net, or a dot something, and then I'll own the domain for their landing pages, and it'll be on a real domain, and I'll have full control over it. It'll never break, and it makes the onboarding and the setup insanely easy. I personally use Namecheap to do all of that. It has the easiest user interface for changing DNS records. It works perfectly every single time. I highly recommend doing that, because if you start using custom conversions, you're going to want to have your own domain. Facebook has just recently changed how how they're tracking conversions, in terms of like forcing you to, I don't think they force you to like verify your domain anymore, but it's still better to have a real domain. You can make a thank you page, you can connect it to high level, and you'll be good to go. So would definitely do that. Definitely don't send them to app.go high level dot whatever. This looks crazy.
yeah, for sure. Also, when they finish the survey, it sends them to the thank you page, which also has a calendar to book an appointment for an inspection.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Yeah. I mean,
We just still need to link that domain to both of these pages.
yeah, you just need to purchase a domain. You need to add the domain into high level, go under the settings for the funnel, apply the domain to it, and you'll have a domain attached, and then just make the slugs look pretty. And then you'll have, your whole calendar booking thing set up, which is fine. I mean, some leads may book, some won't. All of them that do book, you're going to need to tell your client that he's still going to want to call them and verify that they are in fact who they say they are. They're going to be at the house when they go visit. They're basically they call and qualify and confirm the appointment, because some of these leads are going to be other roofers that are just trying to see what you're doing to get leads, and blah blah, and they're going to set fake appointments. Then your client's going to be like, your system sucks, I'm getting a bunch of fake shitty leads, and blah blah blah. So kind of need to prepare them for the inevitability of those things happening. And there's nothing wrong with that happening. It's a numbers game. You'll explain that if you get 10 appointments and 5 of them are good, that's fantastic, because you might close 2 or 3 of them, and you're making money at that point. So get better at qualifying the appointment, or not, or learning that it's not qualified, so that you don't go on a bunch of bad appointments. So that's going to, you'll coach them through the importance of, getting good at that on their end. Your job is to get them leads. So, yeah. And then, one other thing I'll say, or maybe there will be more than one other thing that I'll say, but one other thing in the meantime is, if they have a lot of other campaigns running, it is going to affect the effectiveness of the campaign you're running. And the reason is because, Facebook wants the people who use their platform to enjoy using their platform. And one of the many things that could cause someone to not enjoy using the platform is if, when someone scrolls through Facebook, all they see is ads for one roofing company. So what Facebook is going to do is they are going to intentionally limit the amount of distribution the company you're advertising for is getting, so as, in order so that the people who live in the service area in that small little 20-mile radius see ads from the thousands of other companies advertising within that 20-mile radius and nationwide. So in other words, it's best to have one campaign running and to start at a relatively low budget, 50 to 75 bucks a day, get it working, and then increase the budget slowly and, keep your eye out for diminishing returns. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. I had no idea that if you're running other campaigns, it can affect performance alone.
Yeah, does it make sense as to why it very well could?
Yeah, just because you're probably bombarding people with too many the same ads that they might be getting tired of it.
Yeah, just think about, imagine yourself scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, and all you see, so you see three, so it's basically 2 or 3 posts from your friends and family and people you're following, and then a post and then an ad, and then 3 or 4 posts, and then an ad, 3 or 4 posts and an ad. Imagine if every single ad was for, Bill's Restaurant. You'd be like, fuck, Instagram is so annoying right now. All I'm seeing is Bill's Restaurant. What's Bill's Restaurant? Why am I seeing this so much? Not to mention the fact that if they only show Bill's Restaurant, there are thousands of other companies in the area that aren't getting any looks and aren't going to get good results, and they're going to stop paying Facebook to advertise on their platform. So, in many ways, Facebook is the algorithm for distributing the ads. It's in Facebook's interest if they spread the wealth. If everyone that's running ads gets some conversions, that's better than if only half of the people get conversions. Because if everyone gets enough conversions to keep them coming back and advertising on the platform, then Facebook makes a crap load of money, right? But if one company can dominate the area and spend $1,000 a day and get all the leads, then no one else is going to advertise on Facebook. And so it's really in Facebook's interest to keep as many advertisers happy as they possibly can. So if you keep that in mind, you can kind of, understand exactly how Facebook's ad platform works, what to do, what to look out for, what not to do. And so having 5 campaigns running in the same service area is usually not a good idea.
Okay, most of these are separate areas from each other, but they're not all exactly.
Yeah, and so if they're in separate service areas, they're not even in that 20-mile radius, then that could be completely fine. So that's a different story.
Yeah, one of the main things I think we're having trouble with right now is just finding a really good offer to put in the copy, and then also what we tell them on the funnel page, because we haven't had an insane amount of clients yet to the point where we can do a lot of testing and see what actually performs. So I don't know what's the best way to go about. Like, I want to get these guys the best results we can, but I feel like we're not in the position yet just because we don't know exactly what performs the best.
Hmm.
So, do you have any recommendations as to like how we can create a good offer, and then also something for the funnel page?
And you said also something for the landing page.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so the landing page should clearly be related to the offer that you make at the ad level, right? So like if the ad says $500 off a roof, the landing page should say $500 off a roof, right? Now, I personally don't think $500 off or any money off a roof is a good offer. It's certainly not the worst offer. It it's certainly less cringe to me than the showcase BS. And if we're looking for 42, some exact number, like it's going to be 42 for the next 6 months unless you like update the ad every once in a while to make it seem like you've gotten more homeowners in the area. But I think that's not sustainable. It's super shady. And I personally just despise that kind of verbiage. I think it's whoever recommends that's a red flag in my opinion. But you essentially you want to come up with an offer that communicates two things to the homeowner. Number one, you offer that your client offers really fair pricing. And number two, that they do really good work, because that's really all that people care about. But at the same time, and especially people with money, and this is what a lot of people don't realize, it's a complete misconception about how to attract the wealthier homeowners with the big roofs. The wealthy homeowners with the big roofs they don't begin their shopping for a roof by trying to find someone that does good work, believe it or not. They don't begin that way, even though they have a ton of money. They begin their shopping for a roofer by looking for someone who offers the best prices. And if you think about it, it makes sense, because people that have a lot of money because they're good with their money. Like, they don't overspend for things. They suck as much value. That sounds negative. They extract as much value as they can from every transaction that they make. When they go to buy a car, the guys with a lot of money are really good at negotiating. They're good with their money. They're good with money. They're good at business. They're good at negotiating. And unless it's someone that has a trust fund, if they've earned their money honestly and they didn't come from wealth, they're probably always worried about running out of money, even though they might have a ton of money, right? I mean, like, once that's ingrained in you, it's something that sticks with you. So the first thing they're looking for is an amazing price. Now, so you have to communicate, or you have to present your offer and write an ad that suggests to the person that reads it that the company that they're reading about right now might give them the best price for a roof, without actually saying that you offer the lowest prices, because you don't want to lie that you offer the lowest prices. And then also, you want to say things in the ad that suggest that you also just do great work. And there's a lot of different ways you can say it. You can say it flat out. You can mention how many people left 5-star reviews on your, on Google. How could 110 Google reviews be wrong, or something like that. You can, you don't want to get into specifics about the roofing materials and all this, because people just gloss over that. It's like way over their heads. They don't understand what that stuff means. They can't appreciate it. That might be good at when you're selling the roof in the room with the person. You can give them a presentation and show them the materials, let them hold a shingle, but that's for the salesman. Your job is to get the lead. So I would think about it in those terms, and I would come up, just get out a Google Doc and write down just stream of content. Don't overthink it. Write down 10 headlines that are that really can catch someone's attention and make them think, "Ooh, this might be a good company to get a quote from, because I think that it seems like a great value." Okay, that's the gist of what you want the headline to say. And then the primary text, which they're going to read after reading the headline, if they're seeing it in the Facebook newsfeed, should say something that, kind of reinforces what the headline says, explains it a little bit, tells a little story. And then there's a call to action to, if you want a fast, free quote, you can click here right now and then boom to the landing page and then get their information. And then the landing page should not mirror, but there should be a nice bridge from the ad to the landing page. So whatever the ad says, that same verbiage should be, the spirit of it should live on the landing page. So you wouldn't want to say, so if your headline says something like, we were able to save a home, we saved Joe $5,000 on a roof. When you get to the landing page, you want it to say, you don't want it to say, fill this out and see if you qualify to be a showcase roofing client of ours, or something silly like that, which has nothing to do with the ad. Instead, the landing page should say something like, do you want to save $5,000 on your roof? We are able to, we're often able to do that because many of our competitors, for the same thing we're offering, charge a lot more money than we do, or something like that. So fill out the information and we'll let you know if we can help you get an amazing roof at a fair price, or something like that. And when someone reads that, even if they've gotten 2 quotes, or they're gathering quotes, or you're the first person that they're reaching out to, they think to themselves, well, it would be silly of me not to get a quote from this company. I mean, they save some people money, they have good reviews. Like, why wouldn't I want that? So I would kind of, and I'll send you the recording of this video so you can watch it and kind of hear this advice multiple times, because I think that if you can kind of get into that mindset, the magic happens when you sit down in front of a Google Doc and just start writing ideas down for how you're going to communicate to the homeowner what it is that your clients are offering. And I'll end by saying that when I say you need to come up with a good offer for roofing, I don't mean an offer like a sale or some sort of giveaway or something like that. It's different. It's more nuanced. It's less of like a one-time offer, like this ends in 2 hours BS, and more of a way of presenting to the homeowner what it is that your client does and why it would be in their interest to make your client the one that they're reaching out to for a new roof. And that's really all it is. So if you can figure out how to communicate that to the homeowner in a way that makes them feel like, oh, this is definitely the company. I definitely want to reach out to this company. Getting a quote from them seems like a no-brainer. Like, that's what you want the homeowner to feel.
I see what you mean. Like, basically, you want to make some sort of irresistible offer, and then once they see that, they get intrigued, and then they'll go to your landing page, and it'll be just like a continuation of what was said there.
Correct. And when the irresistible offer, that's a loaded term. I mean, what does that even mean? What's an irresistible offer? I mean, a free roof is an irresistible offer.
Not irresistible offer, but just meaning like something that they would kind of feel stupid to reject. Like they just see a really good enticing offer, not something gimmicky like you said, where you're like, oh, 2 hours left for this, but something like genuinely they see some value they can get out of it and be like, hey, if this is really like true, then I really want to look into it and see if I can get something out of it.
That's exactly right.
Okay. I wrote down a lot of stuff, but yeah, if you could send the recording over, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm going to send it over. I'll also be putting it on YouTube so you can watch it there. And, I think that there's a lot of good advice here. I really would love for you to just kind of follow up with me and tell me what you came up with, because, you know, I, I think it's really important. Like once it clicks in your head, like the psychology of the homeowner, that's what you really want to, that's really all you need to understand. Like once you can get into the head of the homeowner that you're trying to attract, you can write something that just, it's like it goes straight into their brain. I'll tell you, one of the best compliments I get from my clients, and I get them all the time, is my clients will text me or, whatever, because we're on those terms, or they'll message me in my project management software that I use to manage my clients. And they'll say something like, another homeowner that we just met told us that the ad they saw on Facebook spoke to them. And what they mean by that is, they see ads all the time, but the way I wrote the ads that the way I write the ads that I write, they're read by the homeowners, and the homeowner says, wow, this is like exactly the things that I'm worried about. It's exactly the things that I'm concerned about. It's exactly the things I want when hiring a roofer or when sourcing the roofers that I might, eventually hire. And so, if you can get that effect, your clients will love you, because it makes the selling for them a lot easier too. I mean, they show up at the house and the homeowner is already feeling much warmer toward the salesperson or the person who's going to the house from the roofing company, because the ad, it resonated with them at such a high level that the whole sale is just easier. So, try to get good at writing, start typing stuff out, type it out as though and maybe typing it out is not the best way for you to get it from your head out of your head. Maybe you turn on your phone and do a voice recording and you just talk to it like you're talking to your best friend, and you explain to them like the things that you would explain to them if you were giving them advice about who to hire for a roof or whatever. And then maybe you listen to that recording and, 30% of it is gold and 70% of it is trash. And you only write down the gold parts. And maybe you said a few lines by accident that were really good. And so all of these techniques, these are things that I learned over the years, because, when I was 25 years old, I moved to New York City to do stand-up comedy. And so I learned writing like that. I would write all the time because that's how I would come up with content to do on stage. But I applied it directly to the stuff that I write for my clients. But you can also get good at that. You just have to just do it. And so anyway, if you ever need anything along the way, if you write stuff and you want to run it by me, you just let me know. I'd love to help you out.
Definitely. I really appreciate that. I'll try to do what you said. I love writing anyway. I do daily journaling. So I'll just change the kind of topic I'm writing about, just kind of formulate some things. And then if it's cool with you, I'll just email it over to you to see what you think about them.
Yeah, that'd be great. Cool, man.
Awesome. Hey, I really appreciate you, man. And I want to say something before we hop off. I think you are a very big and upcoming YouTuber. I've seen your work, and you are definitely a lot different than the other guys trying to teach just Facebook ads or in our niche, specifically roofers. You're doing it different than a lot of other people. So yeah, man, I'm glad I found you early on in the journey before you kind of blow up, man.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate those kind words. I wish I would have made it a priority 5-10 years ago to start the YouTube channel and build it up. I feel like I'm, trying to make up for lost time, but I really am trying to put out content that truly helps people. So to that end, if you ever have any things you want me to do videos on, you let me know and I'll add it to the list. And I'll try to just make it as good as possible, and then share my channel with as many people as possible. The more subscribers I get and the more engagement I get, the more I'll do, because that positive feedback loop is huge for anybody. And it definitely is for me as well.
Yeah, I got a lot of people I know, so I'm gonna definitely want to, man.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you so much as well. I really appreciate your time, and thank you.
My pleasure. Talk soon, man. See ya.
All right, talk to you soon. All right, bye.